How did you get in this wonderful world of adult entertainment?
Well, that is a funny story. I actually had already been a fan of a lot of porn stars. One in particular was Jesse Jones, and I always saw that he would be posting his browsers behind the scenes with this guy Mello, who's one of the directors for them. And I don't know, I just really loved his vibe. I thought it was really cool, and I slid in his DM and I told him that I wanted to work for him. And at the time, I was actually in high school and I wasn't 18 yet and I wasn't living in Los Angeles yet. So I didn't know how I was going to make it work, but we kept in contact for over a year. When I finally moved to LA, he came and met me and he signed me.
And you've worked with Jesse?
No, I have not. I run into him all the time. I even shot at his house, but no, I have not had the chance to work with him in a scene yet.
Prior to getting into business, had you watched adult material?
Yes, I did. I started off on Tumblr, back when Tumblr was like still R-rated. And that's where I watched a lot of porn from the beginning. And then I just went down the rabbit hole.
When you watched it, the thought ever crossed your mind that I could do that?
That thought did not cross my mind until the first time I had sex. And my mind was literally blown. I was like, this is what I've been missing all these years. And actually the first time I had sex, I squirted everywhere. Like a geyser. I was so shocked. And the guy was also so shocked. I didn't even know what just happened to me. But I had only ever seen that happen in porn. And it just came to me naturally. And yeah, that kind of put the idea in my head.
Do you remember how you found porn in the first place?
I just looked it up on Google. Yeah.
Did you have a particular type you like to watch? The couple stuff, the gonzo, the go-girl?
I love lesbian porn. And I also just love oral. That really gets me off.
And you mentioned you had some crushes on some girls. Were there any girls you liked in particular?
Yeah, definitely. I remember watching the older porn, kind of like when Riley Reid was just starting out, was kind of when I first really started watching porn. But Melina Morgan, I don't know if you remember her, but she was my biggest crush. Like she was a huge lesbian. I loved her scenes. She's so hot, so that was my ultimate girl crush.
Have you ever met her?
No, I don't know where she is. I don't know if she even goes to events anymore, but I loved her.
What about Riley?
Yeah, Riley is super hot. I saw her at EVN. She walked right past me. I have a little video of her and a Bella Danger and a Bella Danger's girlfriend all walking past me. I couldn't believe my eyes. In person, they're even more incredible. I was blown away.
Prior to getting into business, had you traded selfies or anything with your boyfriends in school?
Yeah, I was really into taking nudes, especially in high school. That's kind of when I definitely peaked and my body looked amazing. And I had a lot of super hot girlfriends, and we're girlfriends. Like we get naked around each other, we shower with each other, we take pictures of our butts together. And so I would just post all of those pictures of us on Snapchat, and everybody from school followed me. I had thousands of followers on Snapchat, and I would just post it all the time. And I loved it. I loved the attention, honestly. It got me in a lot of trouble though, but I wasn't doing it because I was a hoe, but I just thought it was really hot, and I thought other people would think it was hot.
So were you turned on that people would pleasure themselves to you naked?
Yeah, it definitely turned me on. And that's actually when I started getting into doing premium Snapchats. I would get so many messages because I made my Snapchat public, so anybody could message me or see my story. And I would get so many messages from guys being like, how much to watch you and your friend together? 600 for this. Like, can I get more pictures of this? And I was just like, who are these men? I was like, what? I don't even know you. I didn't think of it as it could be an actual business. Actually make a profit off of doing it. I was just thought like, oh, there's just a bunch of horny guys in my DM. What else is new? But then the dots connected when I looked it up and I saw all these porn stars literally having these Snapchats. I was like, oh my God, I'm already doing what they're doing, but I'm doing it for free. And I had no idea. I was just doing it for fun. But now I do it as a job. So.
Were your girlfriends surprised, turned on when they saw your pictures and maybe their pictures with you?
They didn't mind. Like I said, all my girlfriends are super chill and we're all low-key attention whores. So they were definitely down. And the boys from my school loved it. So.
Did you get a reputation in school because of that?
I wouldn't say so much a reputation, but people definitely knew my Snapchat was like risky and I was just posting naughty stuff on there. It was really funny because I just have like I guess people wouldn't necessarily expect that from me just because I maybe don't seem like that type of girl in person, but then actually I'm super freaky. So.
And what does freaky mean to you?
For me, it really just means being sexually liberated and not having like constrictions and just doing whatever feels the best for you.
You finish with school, then do you get a job after that, or is that when you get in the actual adult business?
So I'm actually from Northern California, but I moved to Southern California because I was super interested in acting and performing arts and modeling. And I just realized that there was just not those opportunities where I was living. So I moved to Southern California. And once I graduated, I decided to stay in Los Angeles. I don't know, I was already there for school, so I was like, I might as well stay here. And I continued modeling. I did some like small little jobs, but mostly just modeling. And that's when I started looking into porn agencies.
Did you Google them and stuff?
Yeah, I did. I literally just looked up top porn agencies in LA and sent my pictures to them. Got a lot of responses right away and chose an agency.
For you, from watching movies before to doing them, what is the reality of this business?
The reality of this business is that we are sexual athletes. I hear so many people, especially men, of course, all the time, feel insecure that they don't perform the way that these male porn stars do. And I always am like, you cannot compare yourself to them. Like, we are professionals. This is what we do for a living. It's also what we do for a job. It's also what we have as a career. So I'm like, people are working out at the gym all the time. It's really hard on the body. There's a lot of training and effort that goes into it. It's not really just fucking on camera, and it's not really about just having, a tight pussy and a big dick.
You touched on your sexual athletes and stuff. Does that ever become a problem when you're trying to have a normal relationship with people, that you're such a beautiful woman, you have so much sexual experience, you might intimidate a normal dude?
If it intimidates a normal dude, I would say that he has a really fragile ego to think that. I don't see why that would intimidate. If anything, I feel like guys enjoy the fact that I know how to fuck, I know how to please, and that I love to have sex. Honestly, I think that's the ideal woman who wants to fuck like all day long and suck your dick all day long. And I know a lot of guys who would complain about that. So no.
Do you ever find if you're in a relationship off camera that the guy wants the type of sex that you have on camera? I don't know if you have different type of sex at home.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's the guys who want literally the porn star experience. And, I have to tell them that, a lot of the positions that we do in porn are unnatural. A lot of those positions I don't do in my personal sex life. So I would say the sex that I have in my real life is a lot more personal, of course. Yeah.
And do you ever find yourself at home subconsciously opening up the camera when you're having sex because you're so used to doing it at work?
Subconsciously opening the camera, as in recording myself?
No, just you're at home and you guys are doing your thing and you're just so used to, when you get in this position.
No. That's funny though.
Do you have a preference to kind of doing dialogue and stuff, or would you prefer to do a gonzo scene where you just come in and they just let you do your thing?
I would prefer gonzo, but I also love scripts. I think they're always so silly. I'm like, who even comes up with this shit? But it's funny. They always say porn acting is bad. I'm like, only because the scripts are bad. Let's be real.
Have you had any of your former boyfriends from school or anything hit you up or brag that they banged a famous porn star?
Well, first of all those people are blocked. Second of all, yeah, it's so funny because this is what always happens to porn girls. You know, all the guys who wouldn't give you the time of day, you know, wouldn't text you back, like didn't want to date you, they said you were ugly, etc. Then they see your success, then they see you glowed up, then they see how hot you are, and then they think that they can slide back in your DM and be like, oh, JK, sorry about what I said. You're hot, let's fuck. And it's like, no, you had your chance. So.
Your hot babe girlfriends and stuff that you were taking pictures before, would they be surprised that you're in this business?
I don't know if they would say that they were surprised. I luckily have had very supportive friends, you know, then and now. So even back then when I was posting, you know, full on nudes and stuff like that, you know, they weren't judgmental or offended. If anything, they were cool with it, they were happy with it. And I would say the same thing now. All my friends now that I do porn, and you know, sometimes they ask me about it. Sometimes they'll be like, I was on Pornhub and I saw you there, and I'm like, oh. So yeah.